It's like I start my videos so new people watching will be like, fuck this kid. I haven't planned this video at all, but what I do know is that I fucking hate my job. So I'm gonna be telling you some stories, some experiences I've had over just the last few weeks. I should have been doing this throughout my 6 years of working there. For those of you who don't know, I am a server slash bartender, mostly bartender, at a restaurant that you all know and love. But I'm not gonna tell you where it is yet. I have big news, everybody. Your boy, I'm your boy, got a real job. I got like a 9 to 5 real job. I'm so excited about it. But I will soon be able to tell you where I've bartended and worked for the past 6 years that I've had all these stories about. I know so many of you are curious about that for some reason. You'll have an answer soon. I genuinely feel like I genuinely strive to be a good person because I feel that if I go to hell, my hell will be standing behind a bar and bartending for people. I fucking hate it. Now, I have my regulars, like I love my regulars and everything, but overall, I hate my life while I'm serving slash bartending. I hate it. I can't begin to explain to you guys how it feels to be screamed at over Diet Coke and burgers. Like, I can't, it makes me feel dirty. I have a very good attitude towards people. I'm very good with people. I'm a very happy-go-lucky person. But I'm kind of a loose cannon. If you're nasty to me, I can't hide. I'm a great server. I'm a great person for the serving job. However, I'm a bad person for it because I'm a loose cannon and I will scream back at you, which I have multiple times. Only when people get physical with me, though. Like this dumb bitch who went to my high school. Oh my god, don't even get me started. That's not even part of this video. But this dumb bitch who went to my high school came in with her mom and they started screaming at me and the mom was poking my head like, we went to high school together. What nerve you have. You're a piece of trash. So I hope you see this. Maybe I'll even share this video to Facebook so you see it, because we're Facebook friends, you asshole. Anyway, that's not the point of this video. I'm gonna explain some things that happened to me in the past few weeks, because I feel like a lot of you guys are servers slash bartenders, and you'll relate. And if not, they're still ridiculous stories, so you'll enjoy the entertainment. I'm gonna tell these in no particular order, but these are just things that happened in just the last, like, 3 weeks to me. Okay, let's get started. I'm sorry if you hear background noise. My family won't shut the fuck up. I'm gonna start with the story. This woman came in, she was sitting at a booth with one other person. She ordered a quesadilla. A cheese quesadilla. Easy, right? I go ring in her cheese quesadilla. I wasn't really busy. I was being a good server. I wasn't like stressed out or anything. The restaurant was dead and her quesadilla comes out. Being a server, you can know when someone isn't pleased by their face. So I put the quesadilla in front of her and her hand is up like this and she's like, I stand there for a second, I'm like, is everything okay, guys? And she goes,
what is this?
and I said, oh, that's the quesadilla.
That's a quesadilla.
So I said, yeah, that's the quesadilla you ordered. She, dead serious.
There's cheese in that. I'm allergic to cheese. I cannot eat cheese.
Forgive me if I'm wrong, but if you're allergic to cheese, why would you order a quesadilla? Quesadilla. Cheese is in the title. It doesn't matter if you don't speak Spanish. Cheese is in the title. Everyone knows what a fucking quesadilla is, but it gets more mind-blowing. So I was like, oh, okay, did you want to do something else? And she's like,
no, I wanted a quesadilla.
and I'm like, well, there's cheese in all of our quesadillas. She's like,
You can't substitute the cheese for anything?
and I'm like, but then it wouldn't be a quesadilla. So I'm like, what do you want to sub the cheese for? And she's like,
I don't know, you work here. Can't you think of something to sub it with?
I'm telling her that you can't make a quesadilla without cheese because it's a cheese fucking quesadilla. Drink every time I say quesadilla. Long story short, I'm trying to explain to her that you can't have a quesadilla without cheese. Like, just order something else. She wasn't having it. She was just getting more mad at me. And now she literally hates my guts. She's asking for a manager. I go and get a manager. I go back over to the table waiting for my manager. So my manager comes over and I walk away. I'm like, honestly, this is in your fucking hands now because I cannot deal with this. I can't deal with the stupidity. Are you guys ready for this? This woman got 2 toasted tortillas. She got 2 toasted tortillas. You got chips. chips. That's what you got. You got chips. And you know what? You're not a dumbass for not knowing cheese comes in a quesadilla. You're a dumbass for trying to make me feel stupid for giving you a quesadilla with cheese in it. That's not like a big story. That's just like one of the daily stupid occurrences that are literally turning my hair gray day by day. So that was while I was serving, but I had this other guy come and sit at the bar. On this particular day, we had 2-for-1 beers, like Dos Equis, Stella, blah, blah, blah. However, we had huge, gigantic Bud Lights and Coors Lights for $3. Way more beer than the 2-for-1s because the 2-for-1 glasses are smaller. So you get way more beer for $3 when the 2-for-1s are like $6. This guy comes and sits at the bar and he orders a Bud Light, which I let him know, oh, those are $3 for the large one today. And he was like,
Oh, good, great.
so I put the Bud Light in front of him and he just gets that face. So again, I'm like, is everything okay? Is there a problem? Well, he's like,
Oh, why did everyone else get two?
and I'm like, oh, those are like for the Dos Equis and Stella and those beers. Today, the Bud Lights and Coors Lights are $3 for a huge glass. He was like,
Well, they got two.
their glasses are visibly a third of the size of his. So I was like, oh yeah, they're just like 2 smaller ones for double the price of your one huge one.
But they got two.
And I'm like, yeah, it's more expensive for less beer, but because you got Bud Light, you're getting more beer for less money. He's like,
Well, why didn't you tell me that?
and I was like, what? You got more beer for less money. I told you, like, you're in the loop. Now he starts screaming about me trying to rip him off and get more money so I can pocket it. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? So now you're trying to tell me I'm pocketing money, which is assuming something about my character, which I don't like. What the fuck are you talking about? You're paying $3 for that huge beer. They're paying $6 for 2 little ones. So he starts screaming. Now I'm just like, okay, you're a dumbass. You're trying to say I'm stealing money. So then I'm just like, and now like everyone's listening. He's like yelling over me like,
I want two. I want two.
I'm like, okay, you want 2 smaller beers for more money? So I go and I grab 2 small glasses and I take his big ass beer and I pour it into the small glasses and he still has like this much left and I just dumped it down the drain. Then I go and I ring him in for the 2-for-1, which is $6 instead of $3. He had the check in front of him, the $3 check in front of him. I took it and I gave him the $6 one. And you wanna know what he said? Nothing! Because he probably felt like an asshole. The next one genuinely really makes me mad. Like, I'm not even gonna play it up. I was working the bar, and I had this woman come sit at the bar. She's probably like in her early 30s. She sits down, and you know when you get the vibe of someone before you even talk to them, you could just tell they're not gonna be nice? That's the vibe I got. I went over, I put a menu in front of her, and in the nicest voice, like I greet everyone, I went, hi, how are you? Let's pretend you guys are me in this whole situation. She went like this, like looking at the TV. She was like,
Good.
I'm over here, bitch, but whatever. I was like, can I get you started with anything? And she was like,
A margarita.
I went to get her the margarita, and her sister, I'm assuming, because they looked exactly alike, sits down next to her and was like,
Can I get a glass with salt on it?
I get her a glass with salt on it, and I put it in front of her. So I went to go pick up a glass to wash it, and then they're like,
Who made this?
and I was like, what?
Who made this margarita?
I'm the only fucking bartender, and I'm right in front of you, like you saw me make it. I hate when people try to be like shady. Like, just be upfront. I let them know that I made it. I asked them if everything was okay, and they were just like,
Can we speak to a manager?
you still have your fucking coats on. Like, all that has happened is you sat down, I greeted you right away. Like, the second you sat, I greeted you, got you the margarita you asked for. Your sister asked for a glass, I got her that, and all of a sudden, like, you want to talk to a manager already? So I'm just like, yeah, sure. I went and I got my manager, I let him know everything that happened, and he comes out and speaks to them. They are chewing his ear off for literally, like, not 15 minutes, but not 10, like, in between. Like, so long, chewing his ear off. They were there for seriously probably a minute and 30 seconds before they asked for a manager. Like, how are you complaining for 15 minutes? I'm, like, making drinks over here, like, working pissed. I'm like, what the fuck are they saying? And apparently, they were there the day before and had, like, a terrible experience, had the worst service, blah, blah, blah. And then I went over to them, and I'm still trying to be nice to them. So I went over to them, and I was like, is everything okay, guys? They went,
This is the most disgusting margarita I've ever had.
so I was like, okay, do you want me to get you a new drink? And they were like,
No, honestly, it turned my stomach and now I'm disgusted.
I hate when people complain to me and don't give me a solution. I am there to help you have a good time. Just tell me what the fuck you want and I will get it. So I was like, I'm sorry it was bad, just let me know if you want anything else. And the sister cuts me off and she goes,
It tastes like tequila.
the margarita tastes like tequila. For those of you under 21, or for those of you who don't drink, margaritas are made with tequila. Everybody knows that. Especially somebody who's gonna fight a bartender on how they made the margarita should know that. So I said, oh yeah, margaritas are made with tequila. And the bitch goes,
In what world?
So now I'm like, bitch, don't lean over the bar at me. I will fight you. As she's standing up off the stool, she goes, I hate tequila. I'm never coming back here again. As if we're the only place that make margaritas with tequila. They proceeded to get up and walk out the door without paying their check. The entitlement is astonishing. I want to fight people, but I can't. And that's why I go nuts. The next one is just weird. I felt like I was dreaming. I was serving, it was late at night, and this older couple, probably in like their early 50s, sit at a booth, and I go over and take their drink orders, whatever, it was normal. I could tell they were a little off. Also in the restaurant, there was a party of like 12, 14-year-old boys somewhere. Long story shorter, I went to the bathroom, and I go in the bathroom, and my brother's in there. And my brother never comes into my job, like ever. So I was like, what the fuck are you doing in here? Anyway, he's peeing in the urinal. Before he can answer, I hear like these little like exploding noises, and I look, and there's this guy in the handicap stall, like it's swung open. He's just like throwing these little exploding things against the floor, and they're not those little like white exploding things that we used to play with when we were kids, like the snap things. They were like bigger black balls, throwing them against the floor, and they were like sparking and exploding. I look at him, and he's just looking at the ground like... Now my brother, who's just trying to pee with his dick out, he's just like... I look, and the guy is also smoking a cigarette in the fucking bathroom. It just smells so much like smoke. I am asthmatic. So I'm like, you can't be doing that. And he just starts like walking toward me with like this killer look in his eyes. So I'm just like, holy shit, my brother's dick is out. I'm surrounded by black balls and I'm about to die right now. This is it. So he comes walking up to me and he's like, what? And I'm just like, you can't be doing that. You're smoking a cigarette and throwing exploding balls against the floor. Am I dreaming? As I'm in this tiff, one of like the 14-year-old boys from that party walk in. Literally party in the bathroom. I don't understand why everyone's in the bathroom right now, including my brother. So he walks in and he goes in a stall and locks it, whatever. He's peeing, he's doing his thing. So I'm talking to the crazy man, and that's when I realized that it's actually kind of sad. This man was like very confused. He was fucked up on some type of drug, not like a party drug, like a serious drug. He was really fucked up, and I kind of felt bad. He couldn't figure out how to leave the bathroom, and it was like it's like a small bathroom. I'm like, number one, can you put out the cigarette? And he's like, how? I'm trying to show him how to like put it out in the sink, and then he's like, which way do I go? When the door is literally right there. Now all of a sudden the door opens and there's like 5 of my coworkers standing outside the door who heard there was like a situation going on. Now when you're looking into the bathroom, all you see is the first urinal, which my brother was at. My coworkers are like, you can't be in here, like you need to leave. My manager was there. Everyone is just looking at my brother trying to pee. Now I hear the 14-year-old kid in the stall trying to get out, and the lock is jiggling, and he's just like,
I can't get out.
Now I think back to the time that I got locked in that stall, and I'm like, oh, my manager's never fixed that lock. Great. And now this kid is locked in the stall, so I'm like, don't worry, buddy, hang in there, I'll get a screwdriver. Because I'm Bob the fucking Builder, obviously. So now the crazy guys with my coworkers, I'm like, okay, I can leave the situation and go get a screwdriver to help this kid. I guess through people talking, the party of 14-year-olds heard that their friend was stuck in the bathroom, which when you're 14 is probably the funniest thing ever. As I'm getting the screwdriver, like 12, 14-year-old boys pile into the bathroom. Anyway, I look and I see screws on the stall, so I start like unscrewing them. Long story short, I'm a hero. I got the kid out. I'm Bob the fucking Builder. I unscrewed the stall. He got out. It was chaos. I go out, and that older couple in their 50s who sat down earlier were the crazy man's parents, which made it even more sad he was there with his parents, until I passed the table and they were like,
Excuse me, are you our server? We've been sitting here for like 10 minutes. Can you take our order?
I'm sorry, your wild son was throwing explosives and smoking a cigarette in the bathroom. But I couldn't say that, of course. Anyway, I felt bad for the kid. You don't know people's stories. You don't know why they're doing the things they're doing. And that was just in the past few weeks. And there's more. Honestly, I got into a fight with one of my bar regulars. The whole restaurant was silent, and he was just like throwing stuff at me. I was like bobbing and weaving. It was a huge fight, but I don't know if I'm ready to tell that story yet. I still see him every day. That's all in the past few weeks. Sorry, I get very passionate and mad about these stories because it's literally my life that I have to deal with multiple times a week. Leave your craziest work story down below. I love reading work stories. Turn on my notifications. Like, I used to kid around, but like YouTube genuinely fucking hates me. Like, they hate me. Follow me on all my social media. I don't plug that enough. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I post on them daily. I hate my job.